All right. So for my Frankenthaler, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my brush really wet when I do this. I'm going to get my brush wet. I'm going to pick out my color and put it back in the water. And I'm going to get this really nice and soupy wet. So it's like a puddle of pigment on your paper. So next, I'm going to actually paint by moving the pigment around my paper, and the gradient on your paper is going to make a difference as well. You can always add more water if it's not quite doing what you want it to do. But instead of painting with my brush, I'm going to paint with the water. Go back and add some bridges if it's not, again, going quite the way you want it to. It's okay. So as I'm doing this, I'm actually starting to see a figure come out upside down, which is not quite what I expected. But that's okay, it's actually right side up for you guys. So I'm starting to see this come out naturally, not even quite how I was originally thinking it would work, but that's okay. So I've got that, and I'm actually really happy with that, more than I thought I would be. So I'm gonna go in and add a little bit with my other colors. So I'm gonna have a little bit of representation on this. But I'm gonna kind of let the paint do what it wants to also. And that's totally fine. That's part of the process. It's going to look different once it dries too. I actually really like the way this turned out. This is really interesting. So I'm going to leave it. I'm going to let it dry. I may put in a little bit of a background. Be careful not to touch my figure too much. Interested in how it turned out. Don't want to mess it up. If it runs a little bit, I'm okay with that too. Definitely something the abstract expressionists played with. All right, so I'm going to leave that one and I'm going to let it dry. So for my